All right, so hey guys, welcome to another driving test. No, not driving test. I'm used to saying that. So, okay, so we've got mock test today. We've got Chain in here.
Hello.
She's got not a mock test. God, me a mock test. She's got driving test coming up soon. So we're not gonna say the dates. You know, we've got to keep it special and private. But it's coming up soon, and we'll see how prepared she is for the test. So yeah, Gok Chain, we've got you set. And I think the route is ready. So I'm going to direct you, I believe, for the first 20 minutes. And then after that, you would follow the sat nav.
Right. Oh,
Yeah?
okay, fine.
So
First
we'll
you
start, I'll direct you first.
Okay, perfect.
And then in between, we'll follow the sat nav. And then from then you can follow my direction after then.
Okay, let's
So-
see.
Don't forget, relax, enjoy. Remember what we said, just talk to yourself. Alright, it's going to help you.
Let's see.
And it's just you and your friend, right?
Okay.
Just me and you.
Not the real test.
Yeah, not the real test. This is supposed to prepare you for the real test.
Okay.
So when you're ready, we're gonna go straight. So let me see what the sat nav wants us to do. So it wants us to go left, and then back into the test center, as I'm sure. Then go back out. So we're gonna ignore that. So we're gonna go left at the junction,
Okay.
and then right after that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn left, Knowles Hill Crescent, then turn left, Enrosdale Road.
Okay. So we're gonna ignore that second left.
Okay.
And we turn right. So did you remember something you forgot when you moved off? Go on, just finish it.
Okay.
You didn't signal right when you moved off. That signal.
Yeah, that signal. Luckily, there wasn't any car.
Turn left,
So we're gonna turn
Enrosdale
right here.
Road, then turn right, Arlington Close.
Exactly. So there you go. Okay, and then we're gonna turn left at the junction.
Turn left, Hither Green Lane.
This one.
One thing that fills me with wonder is how learners do not actually realize that by not keeping to the left of the road, you actually give yourself more work to do. Now, let's look at the situation here. We've got a motorbike and a car parked up on the right hand side. Now, here we have lots of space on the left hand side at this bus stop. Now, luckily in this case, the road was actually clear. There was nothing coming up ahead. Now, but just imagine if there was car coming up or there are other vehicles coming around and you've got these cars parked here. Those vehicles are going to try and pass around that car, which means they'll be pushing to the right hand side of the road, right? So which brings them into the middle actually. So they come into the middle, which brings them closer to you. Now, if you were already driving on the left hand side, you know, well close enough to the pavement, you wouldn't actually need to do anything in that situation. But when you drive in this position we are in right now, what that causes you is that you're gonna have to keep moving back to the left every time there are parked cars on the right, or every time the road is narrow, or even sometimes like up ahead of us there comes an island in the middle of the road and the road shrinks back, and at this point you're gonna have to come back to the left. Now the problem here is it gets worse if you're not good with your mirror checks, because the more you're gonna have to keep moving around, the more it's gonna be required of you to check your mirrors. So which means you're putting yourself in a situation that ends up putting you at a more disadvantaged case. So take this as if you're a lady and you don't know how to cook, or you're not so good with cooking, or cooking is not your strength or is not your strongest, then please don't go marry a man that loves his food. You know, you just put yourself in trouble. And that's just the case here. If you're not so good with mirror checks in that, and you're always keeping to the wrong side of the road, you're going to have to keep moving around. And the more you have to keep moving around, you keep forgetting to check the mirror. Eventually, there's going to come a point where there's a cyclist on your left and you push to the left without checking the mirrors. And that is what happened as the learner comes back to the left towards the zebra crossing. She forgets to check her mirrors. And that happens a lot with many other learners as well. So keep this in mind. And if you center it properly, you'd actually go right in the middle, remember?
Yeah.
So we'll just continue straight for now. And in cases like this, it is better for you as you pass this island to actually stay closer to the line on your right. So that's the line dividing the lanes, because that way you are already pushing yourself away from the parked cars on the left. And if these cars on your right are actually further away from the center line, that makes it easier for you to just take that opportunity or take that space and continue with the traffic. But if you put yourself in the position where you are right now, too close to the parked cars, you're going to need to steer more to avoid the parked cars, which then means you're going to need a lot more space because your bonnet or your bumper or the front end of your car is going to have to go further into the right lane. And this is why you'd always realize that you can't fit through when you get into meeting situation with oncoming traffic, because you're getting too close to the parked cars on your left. So use more of the room to your right, so that as you get closer to the oncoming traffic and the space is big enough to actually fit your car safely, all you're going to need is just a little steer to the right to keep you away from the parked cars. Sure, so that, but they would normally, how you doing? What have you got, planned for today after your test, something like that.
Mine didn't talk at all.
Yeah, some of them wouldn't, because some people would just rather just. Because I just feel like that's quite serious.
Didn't even smile.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the thing is, if they talk to you and you feel like you have to do something, like you're trying to focus on something, that's fine. They understand. So just focus on what you're doing.
Don't care.
And when you finish, then you can respond to it. They understand that she's trying to focus.
Right,
so don't feel pressurized like I have to answer right away. No, they definitely know why you're not responding at that time. Or if you wish to, you can say, sorry, I'll reply to you after that. But you don't have to. Just finish what you're doing, and then you can then respond. Say, oh, sorry, I was just trying to focus on something. But they know that they've been doing that for a while now, so don't need to worry about that.
Talking helps with the nerves, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, but then some people get too much into the conversation as well, and then it becomes a problem.
It's me as well.
So you got to know how to balance it.
Yeah.
If you know, you can talk, but when something tricky or something more complicated or something that might need more of your attention is coming up ahead, hold that conversation, focus on that, and then when you're done, you can get back to it. Because I might talk to you and all that, but if I have to fail you, I'm still going to fail you. Right? So yeah. So it's just obviously, they're only trying to help, right? They're trying to, keep the atmosphere a bit more friendly and lively, not too tense. That's why they might just, how's your day? What do you do?
After 200 yards, turn right, Minara Road.
So if you
then
continue through the
turn
light,
left, A205, Brown Hill Road.
And it's the second road from here.
Okay. Not this one?
So not this one, the one after that.
Turn right, Minara Road, then turn left, A205, Brown Hill Road.
Just give it your way. And take it confidently. So don't forget, while you're waiting, always pay a little bit of attention on their lights.
Right, yeah.
When they reduce in speed and they flash you as well, then just make sure they come into a stop. Then that means they're giving you way. So at that point, be confident about it. But be careful sometimes. Make sure there's no cyclists coming from beside them, isn't it? Because sometimes that can happen as well.
After 80 yards, Turn left, A205, Brown Hill Road.
Turning left, right?
Yes. There you go. So, Gokchain actually failed her previous driving test just because she signals too early very often. Like in her test, she did that 4 times, and it was 4 minor fault for signaling correctly, and that was why she failed. So, hence why on this video I tend to pay more attention, or I actually tend to just allow her make mistakes with her signal so that she can, work, because we're trying to work on that and see how better she's getting with it. So if you're that person as well, keep this in mind. Just signaling too early or canceling your signal too late can end you in a serious fault, even when it wasn't a situation that was serious. Just having it more than 3 times then automatically becomes a serious fault.
Turn right or straight?
We are continuing straight. So if I ask you, why did you choose to come in the right lane?
Because I didn't see the arrow properly. I wasn't sure how it makes sense. But
Yeah, because you're going straight, so you put yourself in the right lane, which is not a problem, but you're just gonna end up in this traffic.
yeah.
So what do you do now?
I may try.
Yeah, check your mirror. There's nothing around you, so I would just pass around. Signal off. So for the situation at the traffic light there, I am given a minor fault for awareness and planning. Now that was because I had to prompt her to actually, go around that car in front and continue because it was safe. There was nothing behind us you would have seen there. So there was nothing stopping us from actually, just look around you if it's safe, do the rightful thing, and continue. Straight. And you know what the speed limit is on this road?
30?
30, yeah. So right at the bridge, there was a sign there, changes to 30 there.
So just one lane, I suppose.
After 400 yards, turn right, Myrtle Ash Hill.
So at the second traffic light ahead, we're going to be turning right.
Okay.
Second traffic light. So if I were you, what do you do here?
Right lane.
Middle lane. If you're approaching this next instruction, now if you're not used to this road, remember that the lane actually becomes 3 lanes. So we're coming from a single lane into 3 lane, and your instruction is for the second traffic light. So first traffic light, the right lane is turning right only, so you should not be going into the right lane just yet. So you need to use the middle lane, and then as you pass the first light, filter yourself with that lane into the right lane. You wouldn't really need to do anything. All you just do is maintain your lane, and that actually becomes the right lane, and then you take your turn at the second traffic light.
Yeah, middle lane makes sense because it just goes
Yeah, because it's just
directly.
right there. If you're in that left lane, there's no way you're gonna make it anymore.
Yeah.
So if that happens, just
Traffic.
continue straight.
Turn right, Myrtle Ash Hill.
Just move forward. A little bit forward.
Just a
Yeah,
bit,
just to
yeah.
give them a bit more room there because you got space.
Okay.
That's it. Situations like this is where I talk about awareness and planning. Now, if you get yourself to this position, if you actually look around you, use your mirrors, you'd have realized that the cars behind are actually struggling and they have to drive around you slightly to get past. Meanwhile, we have a little bit more space to that yellow box there. So I'd say just push a little bit and get yourself in there so that it's easier and safer for those passing and going straight. I mean, that's of course if it's safe to push forward, like in this case. That little movement or few inches forward does help a lot for the traffic behind you.
Would that fail me? No.
Not really. It's just me, being on a cautious side. If the space is there, why do we wait for people to struggle?
Oh, no. I wondered if I failed.
No. That's not a
I wish that we can ask him to.
that's only going to discourage you, because eventually if you said, oh, it's happening, I'll say yes. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's done.
Then let's stop it.
Then let's stop.
But they carry on.
Yeah, because if I diagnose you of I do a diagnosis on you, and I pick up one thing in the first 1 minute, I have to continue to see maybe there's something else, isn't it? Yeah, so that's what you pay for. You pay for a full diagnosis.
Yeah, exactly.
So let them finish the diagnosis. Remember that you are not doing yourself a favor if, because you feel that you have already gotten one serious fault, and then you're no longer driving to your best ability or capability. Because in this sense, you're not going to get a true result. And that way, you think you only have one problem, because I only had one serious fault on this test. Then you go for another test, and then you fail again for something totally different from the previous one. And that's because that probably would have been found out in the previous one, but because it wasn't completed, you missed it.
Also, it's experience.
Exactly. So don't cheat yourself and just stop it because I failed already. You never know, there might be more things you need to work on. Turning left in about 350 yards, so just continue. I'll remind you again when you're close enough. And when it's safe, I'd like you to pull up on the left in a safe place, please.
Oh, okay. I will carry on for a bit. I think this is better. Sorry, what?
If you had just given it 1 second or two, it would actually stop. Now, I'll be very careful stopping right opposite a junction, especially when you've got a lot of space in front. See?
Yeah.
Although it's not a yellow single, red line or anything, but it's always safer if you just, if this truck wants to turn here now, which is a perfect example, it's going to struggle, isn't it? So be careful with that. So when you're ready, let's continue.
Okay.
So I'd give you a minor fault for that. Because of the position you chose to, just because there was more better places. But yes, I won't feel you. But yeah. Okay. And those are the ones I say subjective. Someone else might have a different opinion in that situation.
Depends on examiner. Yeah. But it's good to know. Also, the track is just such a good example. Yeah.
After 200 yards, turn left, Senlac Road, then turn left,
Okay, so we're turning left in the next road. So where the red car is.
Turn left, Senlac Road, then turn left, Gable Road.
And then when you continue on this road, I'd like you to pull up in a safe place.
Okay.
Anywhere in a safe place when it's safe. Yeah. Just ignore the driveway as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah, ignore the driveways.
Turn left, Gable Road.
Is it not?
Very wide. So, because I was not so satisfied with the positioning, both in terms of where she chose to stop and the distance between the pavement and the car. Hence why I had to make her do it again. Now, don't forget, this is a very common thing on your test. You might be doing pulling up on the left 3, 4, 5, 6, even 7 times. So depend on the examiner, the time, the traffic, and all of that. So yeah, and that again has just been resurfaced again here, as you can see. So problem, which I'm not surprised, is something she does a little bit. So Gokchen tends to pull up too far from the pavement, and that is been shown here. Again, now you wouldn't see it properly from the top, but you can see that on the right hand side, the car is actually quite close to the center line on this road. Meanwhile, we're actually, we've got very good space from the pavement, which you're going to see now when we've tried to adjust it. Keep rolling. Now, tiny bit to the right. There you go. And a bit more. And a bit more. And a bit more. And then stop.
Okay, I guess I'm so scared
Look at
to
that.
hit the curb. Like
Yeah, you're too scared that you turning so much. Maybe 5 minutes, maximum 10 minutes. But when you do about 15 to 30, that's like almost half a circle when you're actually trying to pull up on the left. So if you look at it now, and look at what you have when you did. So yeah, that's it. Don't be nervous about it. Just because the problem is when you get too worried about it, you keep doing that mistake every time.
Yeah.
But if you just close your mind and just say, I'm going to try this now and see what's the worst that can happen. I hit the curb while I'm doing practice.
Yeah.
That's better than, you go into your test not even knowing how to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
So if you hit the curb now, we know, okay, yeah, that's what I shouldn't do. I'll do this way and that. At least you know what to do next time. So that's always a problem, right? The worries of hitting the pavement, even in your lesson, becomes a big problem on your test.
Okay.
What's going to be the worst that happens if you hit the curb at that speed in your lesson?
Yeah,
Nothing. Right? That's the whole point of the lesson. So just do it now. So yeah, when you're ready, let's move on, please.
Okay.
And at this point, actually, so while we're pulled up, I am now going to stop assisting with directions. So you're going to fully follow the sat nav for say the next 20 minutes. Yeah. So I'll just put this camera on, and I'm gonna put the sat nav where you can see it. So that would be your independent driving. So this comes off, and then we can have it here. Can you see well there?
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay. This
is really good. I'm gonna buy one.
Good. So when you're ready, let us continue, please. And then turn left here. What time is your test again?
12:30.
12:30.
35, 38, 12:30.
It's about that. On that time. Because so far you've been lucky. Come on, some of the minor mistakes you've had.
Yeah.
Luckily, because the road isn't busy. So you see what I mean? That's why I'm asking your time. But we want to make sure, we're not counting on luck. Okay, so
far so good. Yeah, sometimes you have to be lucky as well.
Right,
Don't you?
Wing Road.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, can't rely on luck. Just close a bit. Okay.
if you look on your left, why have you got the big gap on the left and you're driving right in the middle? So be careful of your positioning. Drive a bit more closer to your left. And when it's safe, I like you to pull up. Actually, I like you to pull up just after the next pole, just after this pole.
Okay. Just after this.
Yeah, after it, so you can go past here a bit.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
I think
Keep the wheel straight. Okay? You think you forgot anything?
signal.
No signal.
But it's just we are so close to the road.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So, I mean, quickly, I'll still signal. It's quick. That's the whole point. Because sometimes then we'll pick a point and say, yeah, I'd just like you to pull after that. She still remember to, put that signal on quickly.
Yeah, you're right.
So, again, Gokchen failed or forgot to signal before pulling up here. And this is again where luck really comes in on your test. So, every time she's done this fault, there seems to be nothing around, so I can't really fault her, because signal is actually, if it's necessary, if there's going to be someone around to benefit from that signal. Now, the good thing for you here is on your test, an examiner doesn't actually know if you're forgetting or if you're just doing it intentionally because you know that there's no one around to benefit from it. But I'm aware of this because she tends to forget to signal, or when she signals, she tends to signal too early, which is what she actually failed our previous test for. So, before moving off here, Gokchen did a full observation, which is good, but unfortunately she started from the right, which meant that the last place she would look now is left, but she's moving right. Now, eventually, just before she moved off, she checked the mirror again, but not the blind spot, so over her shoulder on the right. Now, the problem with this is when she did all of that, she waited on about 2 or 1 second before then moving off. And imagine if already now there is a car coming out from that road on the right, and this is the problem why it's very important to just take that quick glance over your shoulder just before you move off, especially if you pause after doing your observation before you then move off. This is where a lot of learners get caught up when you're moving off, and then something is now coming from your right and you never saw it. So if I move off at that point, I would have checked that blind spot just one more time before moving off, because that road was there, isn't it? Your car could be coming out from that road and you wouldn't see it from the mirror. Okay,
I see.
Yeah.
Is it because the road was busy, or
After 2
This is a normal thing. You always want to check the blind spot just before you move off, especially when there's a junction on your right. Okay, so yep, sat nav says turn left at the roundabout. So from this point, I would distract you.
Go left on the roundabout. First exit, Nottingham Lane.
It's good I was hearing you contemplating 30, 20. Yeah, it's 30. So that's good. Remember the last time you didn't realize it was 30?
yeah. Then I remember
So I forgive you on that one.
Yeah.
I'd say, okay, yeah, maybe because I was talking to you, but still not a reason, right?
Okay.
So be careful with that road. It's very tight, so you want to be very cautious of how close you're getting to the pavement through the bend.
Okay.
So what's the speed limit on this road?
After 400 yards, cross the roundabout. Second exit, A20, E15, Sidcup Road. Then bear left, Eltham Road. Cross the roundabout. Second exit, A20, E15, Sidcup Road. Then bear left, Eltham Road.
Can't say anything, so I'll just wait here for a bit. Maybe I would have. Yeah, but,
Not really.
okay, yeah.
After 400 yards, bear left, A20, E15, Eltham Road.
recently I posted a video regarding this traffic light. If you're coming to this traffic light or you're going through this light, be very careful with the drivers in the middle lane, as they might actually be taking a left turn into your own lane instead of going straight towards Cadebrook Village.
Okay, I remember this weird road.
Yep.
Bus lane is coming. Okay. It's just not giving me
Silly. So as you would see right there, this is the biggest problem at that traffic light. Now I'm hoping to get to the test center and probably speak to one of the examiners when we go for these tests to see, you know, what happens at this position. Because the problem here with the traffic light is, as you're taking the bend, as you see right there, you've got the bus lane right in front of you as you take the turn. Now you're supposed to drift or filter towards the right, but with those drivers in the middle coming into your own lane, it becomes difficult. Now, of course, it takes experience to be able to deal with this situation, because if I was doing that, I would have been able to get through that situation because I would just increase speed. But then a learner on their test is probably also worried about what an examiner might do in response to them increasing speed to try and get through that. Am I going to be saying like, you know, I'm a competitive driver or something like that? Because again, when you wait in front of the bus lane there, with my experience going through that lane many times, the other drivers is like you have a queue of 5 or 6, 7 cars and none of them just wait. So what do you do? So it's a bit complicated for a learner, which I can understand. So I mean, the council or TFL, or you know, they got to do something about that point. It is not safe. But not many learners are that confident and experienced enough to be able to deal with such situation, and that's why I'm not giving a serious fault here. So let's see how that goes when we go for the test, and I'll speak to an examiner and see the opinion. But bear in mind though, yeah, if worst case scenario you can't get through safely, which is what we had to do here, I had to then stop the car when it was obvious we cannot go through it safely. So remember, if you cannot get through safely, you would rather come to a stop. So slow down and stop safely and wait until it's safe. But again, this is where, I mean, it depends on every individual learner, what experience they have, how much confidence they've got. So it's gonna be a little bit of give and take here, a little bit of what's the word, a little bit of it's subjective. So it's gonna be based on your examiner, based on the learner, so it's everyone together here, but all boils down at the end of the day to the examiner, based on how you deal with the situation. But you know, with my experience and you know, going through tests and certain difficult places on test route like this one, I feel like examiners do tend to prompt you in this situation, just like I would do with learners, like be aware of this and that, so that you plan yourself ahead as you enter into that situation. So yeah, don't. It's the pressure, it's the nerves, and that's always the point. Because sometimes you're like, oh yeah, but was that thing, was this thing, but you forget I actually said go straight. So yeah, just relax your mind. Even if you had reminded yourself and repeat what I said, yeah, go straight. That would have just prompted you again, to remind you that you're going straight. Yeah. So don't feel more crazy when you hear some learners repeating what the examiners are saying. That's just remind themselves.
Yeah, it's true, because you think lots of things, then you forget about the
exactly. So when you repeat it, you then focus your mind into that next instruction. Okay, yeah, I'm going straight. Because look, the speed is 20, so it gives you a lot of time to think. There's nothing to do. Look around. It feels very slow. So far you have been lucky today. So far, because of a very generous road traffic situation and a very generous examiner, which is me.
Both
So,
combination is the perfect
combination.
combination.
But I mean, this is what the problem is. Now, in a different time of the day, you would have got serious fault already.
Yeah.
And this is what the problem is. So some people might manage to pass in the morning, but then they might come in the afternoon. If they were to take that test again, they'd fail. So that's what I call luck.
True.
So, but the more lucky, I mean, the more luck you depend on, the less likely you're ready, isn't it? But the less luck you depend on, that means the more of actually you're doing the job. You know what you're doing,
I see.
and you're taking responsibility.
Okay.
So the better you are. So yeah. Because don't forget, if you can depend on luck at less busy time, but you can't so much depend on luck at rush hour, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you got so many
Yes.
impatient drivers on the road.
Yeah.
You know, even though some of them are just going home, but for some reason they're still rushing home.
Yeah. True.
That's what I don't understand sometimes. So yeah.
So, you know, on the situation, like, you know, the car, it was basically his fault, but I was hesitant what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, because the problem is you keep moving, he's not stopping, you keep moving, he's not stopping. Now eventually it's his fault, but if you just did something, maybe it would just avoid a crash. You see what I mean? Now on a normal day, even if you end up in a crash and eventually insurance comes up, okay, it wasn't your fault, but the thing is, it still spoils your whole day, your plan is ruined, and that's the whole point. Like, I'm not going to get into an accident just because I know at the end of the day it's not going to be my
After
fault,
200
right?
yards,
I don't want to have my
turn
days
left,
messed up in that,
eastbound Park,
and that's the whole
then
point.
Turn left.
So imagine you're having your child in the car, you want to just avoid any unnecessary
Basically, yeah.
such cases, you know. So it's just about safety rather than, you know, who's got priority sometimes.
Yeah.
So, and that's the problem. Now, is this fault, but how are you able to deal with that? Are you, if you were the one driving alone, would you actually be able to avoid that situation?
So, okay,
You
I
know,
should
to be the
stop
better driver.
and then, you know, find opportunity to.
And what could have also helped you again, maybe if you had actually moved your head to the right, you tend to be, you was more focused straight ahead, and then you was looking at the car with the side, your peripherals. I can see it, but if you look, maybe you might just wake up and this person is not stopping, then maybe I'll just stop.
Right.
So just be more confident, make a decision. The more, that's the problem, the more you're thinking I'm not sure what to do, more you just stop safely, you know, come to a slow speed, slow down, and you know, yeah.
Okay.
But that's the problem. The reason why I said, you know, I wouldn't fail you there, which I hope many examiners are going to be like me in that case. That road is very annoying.
Yeah.
In the sense that as you take in the turn, the bus lane starts right immediately
Yes.
there. So you got in this situation where you're trying to move away from the bus lane, and then you've got this car right in the lane where they shouldn't actually be there in the first place. So when you stop at that point, like I said to do, and if there are more cars behind that driver, then you're gonna end up stuck there.
Yeah, that's what I was
And then you're gonna be
saying.
worrying, am I gonna be failed for waiting there?
Just
So
hesitant and stopping
yeah,
the
so
traffic. I wasn't sure, that's why, like.
so
I was,
it becomes a bit more tricky, and all of that nerves is going through your mind, and you're worrying.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So that's why, because two problems: the driver and the cancel. If you ask me,
Yeah.
because the cancel shouldn't pull if it, I don't know, maybe it's TFL. That bus lane shouldn't start right there.
That's what I was thinking.
Shouldn't.
Honestly, it's not the matter of like I'm gonna go first. It's
It just
matter of
didn't
like
make sense.
it just I wasn't sure if I stop would I fail.
Yeah. So it's always that problem, you know, the thinking, would I,
hesitation,
and that holds you back more to actually make a decision.
Yeah.
And if you also notice, as you're coming through the bend, there's a road on the left as well. So which means if I say turn left on that road, people are going to have to come away from the bus lane and come back into the left again to turn left into that road. So the reason why that bus lane shouldn't be there at all.
Yeah.
It should have been just after that road on the left. But yeah, this is what we get sometimes in
That
London.
road, even though I know that road, which is
Yeah.
it's a tricky road.
Even experienced drivers come on that road and still have problem. I see them many times beeping at each other, and you know, because you're gonna have drivers in the middle lane using that middle lane to turn left. So I really hope, I mean, if I go to your test, when we go there on that day, I probably would bring that up with an examiner. no, even if you did it here, it's not a problem because it's already 60 yards. So it's always between 50 and 100. So anything between that.
You know, I failed because of that.
Yeah, I remember.
Early signaling.
And the funny thing was, you didn't actually fail because it was a dangerous thing. It was just because you did it repeatedly.
4 times.
Isn't it? 4 times.
It's that now.
Yeah.
Because I see there's no road. I just.
And you signal
I
for
don't.
that time.
I wanna get rid of
Yeah,
it.
so now you know the sat nav and the numbers. So between, if you did it like 80, 90, 100, it wouldn't be a problem. But if you did it at 120, 130, that's quite far away. Because even though there is no road on the left, some might just think you want to pull up on the left. That's what they would think.
Yeah.
You know, because yeah, it's still far from the road, but I see this person is signaling. So yeah, maybe she's gonna pull up and I'm gonna start trying to pass you around. But then I realize you're still going straight.
Yeah.
That's what becomes a problem. So yeah, it makes it difficult for someone who's trying to overtake you because they think you're gonna pull up on the left.
Yeah.
But then you're not pulling up. That means they have to slow back down. And it might be difficult for them to come back in behind you because the person behind them is probably even close the gap. So all of that, so it's about how is it affecting other road users. So, yeah. But that's it. Just don't worry too much about things. Just think, make a decision, and take action.
Okay.
Look at that.
Like
You're gonna have people doing that.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Which is-
Now, when you get to that point and the car's coming out, then what happens?
Oh, true.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
They don't
block
think
the
of
block
that.
the-
Then you're
block
gonna
the
block the
traffic.
situation, and yeah, it makes it more dangerous. And
It's clear. Let's see. Let's go.
and then turn left again.
Turn left, eastbound Park.
Now the question is, what do you see on the right when you look there?
I can't see anything. That's the
Exactly.
problem.
So just tell yourself, if I can't see anything,
Just
there is
because
nothing.
Sometimes the road is a bit tricky, like
Yeah,
it
but
just
this one, I know there's a car there blocking your view, but what we see from that point, it's still actually good enough to make a decision. But because of your mind telling you, maybe there might be, you know, something like that. So continue straight. So yeah, just trust yourself. What you've seen so far and there, try and come a bit left once you pass that cars.
Okay.
So that if anyone wants to come in from that junction, they can also come in as well. So yeah, you know, if it's good enough to make a decision, then take it. So, because that traffic there stopped us from actually
After
going the other way
200
around.
yards, turn right, Enrosdale Road, then you have reached your destination.
There you go. So that would have been what happens on your test where you get lucky. Your test get cut short.
Oh, it will be perfect.
Yeah.
This is my lucky day. Weather is nice
So,
as well.
yeah, now
I wish
what we're
that
gonna
this was my test.
So we're gonna turn right.
Enrosdale Road, then
Actually,
you have
don't turn
reached your
right. Continue
destination.
straight. Yes, continue straight. Because if we turn right, it becomes tricky to come back around. Because that's a one way over there. So we're gonna end the test somewhere else, and then we're gonna have our talk. So we're gonna pull up behind that silver car.
Okay.
So mirror check, signal left.
Can I use the curb?
What do you think?
I think so, yeah. I think
There you
there's a
go.
line
The mark
there.
is on the curb, so
Yeah.
that means you should go on the pavement.
Alright.
So yeah, but that's it. So yeah, that would have been the end of the test. And fortunately, unfortunate, it's a pass, right? Because of the time, you got lucky with a lot of situations,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
But would we want to go for a test in this situation? I say maybe not.
Yeah.
I want to be more, you know,
More- Yeah.
yeah, you know what I
Let's rely
mean.
on
Be
luck.
more confident about it. Be more.
Yeah.
Don't want to be too much on luck,
Okay.
right? Want to be, you could, you know.
I think I might have failed once I was moving off because I didn't signal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, sometimes it might not necessarily fail you because don't forget, signal is always if necessary.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's not necessarily going to fail you because if you're moving off on a side road where there's no cars around and
Right.
you keep forgetting to signal, and I keep looking and there was no cars around, I can't actually fail you for it.
Right.
Because there was no one around to benefit from that signal.
Yeah.
So I can't fail you for that.
Okay.
Where you would have a problem is,
here becomes a problem where, as an examiner, I see that you have actually been moving off without signaling. But luckily, in many of those situations, or in actually all of those situations, there's not been any other road users around who might benefit from that. Now, what happens at this point is, because I actually want to find out if this learner is actually doing this consciously because he or she knows that there's no one around to benefit from it, or is he or she doing this subconsciously? So because I want to find out, what's going to happen here is I'm more likely to now ask you to pull up on the left on the main road, so where you've got more traffic or the likelihood of someone being around, just so that I can find out. And this is where the truth gets revealed. So if you were doing it subconsciously, you're going to repeat it again. And at this point, yeah, it might just end you in a serious fault if there was something around or someone around and you fail to signal again. So get used to this, get used to your signaling, make it a habit so you don't have to have this problem. So this is the end of these assessments. Just to remind you again, Chain had a previous tests before coming to me, and this assessment makes our third lesson together. And by the time you're watching this, we would have now done 5 lessons together, so that's 10 hours. And just before the test, we've got 3 more lessons to go before the test, so look out for that. I'm going to give you an update on how the test went. So remember, like, share and comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, so please remember, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button. So I'll see you in the next video. Stay blessed, stay safe, and all the best. Peace. I'm out.